What's up, guys? Brian Burke,
You
you
know,
know, and this is a video about how to make approaching women really easy. And this seems to be like kind of the part that guys get the most nervous about. I know it was my biggest obstacle. You just sort of the fear, the anxiety, not really knowing what to say. And I made some shifts when I was younger that actually made it really easy for me. My biggest obstacle was extreme anxiety. Like, I'd get panic attacks. I'd see a woman and I'd say, okay, I'm going to go approach her, and then boom, 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 the heart starts racing and I can't think. So if you can approach women, you can have way more control, way more abundance over your sex life, your love life, because there's women everywhere. It's sort of like, what's the little jingle, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So you see women every day, whether you're going out at night or just doing errands or whatever. And if you were able to meet, when you see an attractive woman, if you're able to meet her, just think about how many more options, how much more fun you can have in your life. You can date the kind of women that you're really attracted to because you're approaching the women that you now notice, but maybe now you say, oh, she's out of my league, or I don't know what to say, and you chicken out, you avoid it. But that's the woman that you actually want. So if you can approach her, now you can have the women that you actually want in your life, whatever that means for you. And so this is, in my opinion, this is a life skill for a man.
yeah. I mean, I know Brian had the same thing. For me, approaching was by far the hardest thing. It's something that still comes up as something that can get in your way, if you get fear or anything like that. But it doesn't have to be difficult, and that's sort of what we're going to talk about, is how to just make it super simple. I know I overcomplicated it for a little while, but I used to do it very simply for a couple of years. All I did was go up to a girl and say, hi, my name's Ian, what's your name? And literally worked every time except one time. Talked about this as a club in Manchester, and this girl just looked down and said, you don't want to know. Aside from that, this is like hundreds of times it's worked.
That was clearly about her, not you.
Yeah.
So basically, here's why it's hard, okay? The reason why approaching women is hard, and that by hard I mean you get a lot of anxiety, or maybe your mind goes blank, you just don't know what to do. The reason why it's hard is because of the very advice you've been getting your whole life on how to approach women. Advice is supposed to help you, right? But what are the two common pieces of advice we hear? Just be confident, right? And then, say something to impress her, or say something funny or witty, or make her laugh. And even women will say, if you ask a woman, how should a guy approach you? Oh, just be confident. Or, we'll say something to make me laugh, or say something that impresses me, Okay, here's why that's a problem. First of all, we already talked about, impressing women and why that's bad. Let me talk about confidence real quick, and then I'll kind of tie this into impressing women and why that's basically impossible to begin with. So confidence, I kind of feel like confidence is like a unicorn. It's not real. When we talk about confidence, when someone says, oh, that guy looks confident, what's actually going on, the observer says he looks confident, means he looks like he's pretty sure that he's going to get the result he wants. But what's actually going on in his head, and I know this from playing sports, and you can watch a basketball game and see the post-game interview from the winning team, the MVP of the game or whatever. It's task focus. It's present focus, moment to moment. What am I doing right now? Right now. Right now. As soon as you start thinking about the future or start thinking about the past, that's when you stop looking confident. You look maybe nervous, you're looking down, your eyes are shifting. I'm never confident. I'm never confident when I approach a woman. I'm not even thinking about myself. So I'm going to tell you guys what to think about, but it's all about your first thought. Okay, so you see a woman and you have this first thought. And I have a lot of exercises to train in this, like a very empowering, positive, successful first thought. What that does is that sets your thought process, your thought track. Okay, it puts you on the right track, and then you can just move forward. The problem with confidence, fundamentally, is that it's a belief system. It's your perception of reality. Beliefs take time to develop. So if I see a woman and I think I have to be confident to meet her, but I don't feel that way, then I won't talk to her. So confidence actually prevents you from taking action. So we all accept it, right? I don't anymore, but it's common knowledge or common assumption, conventional wisdom, that you need to be confident to talk to women or to attract women. And it's actually the worst advice you can get. it will prevent you from taking action, and also trying to act confident, again, is a persona. You're pretending. And what does confidence look like? Well, immediately you're going to draw on movies you've seen, James Bond, all that stuff. And now all you're doing is trying to impress her. The problem with impressing a woman, if that's your intention, again, what does that look like? What does that mean? You have to kind of guess what she wants to hear, right? Saying what she wants to hear. Game, right? Also, there's sort of this standard. When it comes to impressing women, there's like this standard, like this James Bond standard, that you have to be smooth and say all the right stuff. And, the funny thing is, when I'm awkward and maybe say something weird or whatever, but then, I'm okay with it, that's way better than just having all the right lines and being smooth. You hear people talk about, I'm just not smooth with the ladies. Well, that's not the problem. The problem is you're not talking to them. Why are you not talking to them? Because you think you need to be smooth. So being awkward is way more powerful, in my opinion, as long as you're okay with it. If you try to hide it,
if you're authentic with it, and that's what always, then it's going to be okay.
It's sort of this ultimatum you give yourself, and you internalize it based on all the messages you get from movies and other people, and everyone else is talking about the same silly shit, like impress women, blah blah blah. There's this ultimatum of, if I'm not confident, I can't blank, or if I don't whatever, I won't be blank. If I'm starving, if the taco spot is closed, I'm gonna be so pissed. So you're creating this necessary failure, this all or nothing kind of dynamic, and that's not reality. Reality is fluid. It's a process. It's not static where it's this, that. So you're basically not operating in reality when you're creating ultimatums about results. If I'm not this way, this won't happen. Or if I am this way, this will happen. That's not how reality actually works. Again, impressing the woman, trying to meet that James Bond standard, she can see that. She loses respect. Respect being the first gate of control. It's an emotional trigger. It's a trigger that, it's a feeling that triggers a receptive state. Well, we want women to be receptive. Women want to be receptive too. They want to be turned on for us. I like being hard. Women like being wet. They like being aroused. No one wants to be turned off. But if she doesn't respect you, she will be turned off. No woman is going to sleep with a guy she doesn't respect. You have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, that's completely true.
I know I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to make these videos short so you guys can watch
them. We're trying to keep them concise enough that you guys can really take action on this info and, move forward with it. I think the biggest... So I completely agree with Brian that respect is huge, and a girl can tell if she's going to respect you or not right away. That's why if you go up and you just say, hey, let me buy you, can I buy you a drink? There's just an immediate positioning of, oh, she's better than you, you have to prove yourself to her, you have to impress her.
Now she looks down on you.
Right, immediately. And that's the first thing she's thinking. So now her entire frame for talking to you is from there, like, oh, he's trying to impress me. Now she's thinking, what can he do to impress me? So, you got to keep it simpler. But so the big thing...
Well, that's actually, before you go into keep it simple, I actually have something cool for that. To wrap up, before we get off the impress and confidence thing, I told you guys I was going to tell you how to think. That first thought, okay, here it is. Be impressed, and then give her confidence.
That's actually, that's massive. That's one of the big things that you'll get some info on later too, is why it's easier to actually meet and to connect with a girl who's your perfect 10 than it is to hook up with a girl who's like a 7 or an 8, because you are amazed by her. And you should tell her that. Like, that's what happened to me, is if I see that girl that's just like, whoa. Like, that's what I'm thinking when I see her. I'm going to go up to her and be like, honestly, like, you are stunning. You blow me away. And that's being impressed by her. Yeah. Which is a big difference. It doesn't set it as like, oh, this guy's like pathetic or anything. It's like, oh, wow, he genuinely is attracted to me and thinks I'm beautiful. Now she's going to feel great and associate you with those good feelings.
And just to make it clear, when we say 7 and 8, every guy understands that. Okay, if there's any women watching, here's a little insight on guys. There's no objective 7s, 8s, 10s, right. Whatever. Every guy kind of has his type, and we have very different types, since we always joke around about it. But my 10 is like your 3 or something, right? But and your 10s are my 2s, right? No, 1s. Well, I went. Well. But no, so actually it would be more akin to like my 10 would be maybe your 7. Right. and vice versa. So what that means is, as a man, and men will get this, there's women that I see where I'm like, oh my God, like that, I want her so much.
Yeah.
And then there's then there's women that are cute, they're attractive, and yeah, I talk to them, maybe I go out with them, but they don't inspire that 100% passion. Yeah. And so that's what we mean, is that I'm the same way. I do way better with women that I'm extremely passionate about.
You're going to be completely genuine with them. It's very hard. You can't, if you're not that blown away. I can't lie. It's like a physiological thing. I'm terrible at it. So I can't go up to a girl who I think is decent looking and be like, wow, you blow my mind, you're gorgeous. She'd know instantly that I'm lying. So that's, that's why it's actually much better if you find out what type of girls you like most, and when you see them, just go.
Yeah. Just
go and say what you want to say.
First thought, habituate this, be impressed by her. Okay? Her beauty doesn't make her better than you. It just means she turns you on. I mean, she excites you. Okay? Don't add extra meaning to it. Then go up and give her confidence. And what you verbally say, this is why I kind of cut you off. I didn't mean to do that, but KISS, we've all heard this. Keep it simple, stupid. Well, what I like to do is keep it short and simple. So when you try to do like an elaborate opener, or you try to be witty, too much. What that's going to do is going to stop you. It's going to create a lot of potential for you to, first of all, come off fake, deception. But also, there's a good chance you're going to get tripped up, or you're going to forget what you were saying. I know a lot of times I am nervous when I first approach women, so if it's really complicated, I'm probably going to mess it up. Keep it short and simple. This is what I mean by, if you can do this, if you can approach women with the right mindset, the right appreciation focality, and then have just a very simple, short way to engage her, you're going to be able to do this whenever you want, all right? And then now you have abundance, you have choice. You're meeting the women that you're really attracted to. So I just wrote a couple examples here, just thinking like the kind of things I say. You're so pretty. This is probably 9 times out of 10 I'll say. It's not a line, it's really how I feel. I guess I've said it before, so maybe you could call it that. But if I see a woman, I'll just go up and say, wow, you're so pretty. Okay? The other one that I found I say sometimes, and this would be more maybe at night or something, is maybe if there's a girl kind of walking past, and you pretend to be a girl for a second. Big hairy man. Right, so if you're looking that way, and you don't see me, but you're a woman, so you're looking over there. So look right. Say, whoa, who are you? Okay? Short and simple. Yeah. All right. Now I'm indicating, sexual interest. I don't know. Do you have anything with
a touch? With the situational stuff, if you have something right there that's like situationally funny or witty or whatever, use it and just say it then. That's great. But the trap is when you get stuck looking for that. Like, yeah. I have witty little shit that I'll think of, but if I'm looking for that every time, I'm not going to find it. Nobody's, professional comedian's not going to find that every time, something to say. And so it becomes a roadblock where you're like, oh, I really need to go talk to her. Hey bro, what do I say? What should I say? What's witty? And then you get caught up in that instead of just being like, she's attractive, boom, going and talking to her.
You can even make that direct, simple approach, which is kind of my style. It's what I like to do. It's just my personality. I'm very direct and kind of blunt. But you can make it funny. I mean, things I've done, maybe it's in the same deal. Whoa, yes, and then high five. And basically, I'm high-fiving her because she's attractive to me. So, another thing I've said before, and this would be, I want it to be real, but, going up and saying, oh my God, you are so cute. And I think I just forgot my name. Okay, and it's actually like I was kind of drawing a blank, and then it's funny. It's like, oh,
And so as the last thing we'll leave you with here is, I know sometimes if you hear Brian talk about saying, hey, you're so pretty, that can conjure up this feeling of fear already. Like I'm sure you felt this even just us talking about it. There's that little bit of anxiety. If that seems too forward, if it's too much like, that seems like such a difficult thing to do, to say that she's pretty, even though you're feeling it. Work up to just pick something for yourself that works. Like I said, if there's nothing else in my mind, if I'm drawing a complete blank, I just go with, hey, my name's Ian, what's your name? Mm-hmm. And if you say that and you mean it and you're just trying to get to know them, he's going to be like, oh, fuck off or something, so just pick something simple that has the least resistance for you.
Yeah, resistance is
get rid of the resistance. Another time we'll talk about factions, just thoughts immediately becoming actions, and just habituating this. But like I said, we want to keep this short, so action steps here, just go out and just, pick something simple.
Be impressed. give confidence, and the way you do that verbally is with your keep it short and simple opener. We gave you some examples. You can think of your own. If you don't even have to make it clever, just something as simple as "Hi, what's your name?" is fine. The key is in the eyes, and that implies like there's sexual interest. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how to make your conversations more sexual. We have like a kind of a very simple two-step process to do this, to kind of incorporate that sexuality with the woman. That's so crucial, because if you don't, she's not going to return your text or your phone call. She's not going to want to see you again. She's definitely not going to leave the bar with you. You know, you have to imply that there's a sexual connection going on, that's what you're interested in. So we're going to show you the good way to do that on the next video.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, it doesn't matter if the nicest guy in the world had the best game in the world. If there's no sexual tension there at all, it's just not going to happen. You're going to be friends, and I've seen that happen more than anything else. And so that's huge. So we'll get that to you.
Cool, awesome.
All right. So
yeah, sayonara.
Hey man, it's Brian. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos. Obviously I couldn't include everything on these short videos. You're going to want to check out a much more in-depth video series I made called Sexual Spark. Me and Ian actually alluded to it several times. It's comprehensive, and it has everything you need to know to get started meeting and triggering that sexual spark to make them want to sleep with you. As you can see, I break the system down in depth and go way into detail so that you can start using the Sexual Spark system in your own life right away. The discount's only going for a couple more days, so click below to learn more and let's make it happen.